Can I verily bury this memory? Can I ever not rule over the days of innocence? I think they are gone. Noble ways of good old days in this land, I guess, disappeared with the granite pyramids of Kano. The acid rain that withered fertile fields of brotherhood in Jos also killed compassion in the neighborhood of Lagos. Rails were built to connect cities and hearts of folks who lived apart, I was told. Children who had little to eat would await travelers in Kaduna with open arms and offering of tuwo masara, which they shared to strangers from Owerri and Warri, weary and hungry on their journey to foreign lands they later called home. In search of where it all began, I groped in the darkness of days at hand. My foresight went hazy, so I stumbled on my father's broken heart. Broken by stumbling blocks of unpaid pension and burns inflicted by compatriots who made him queue in the sun to earn the peanut called pension. My father screamed as the pain grew sharper when the politicians mentioned his paid pension as an achievement of their government. So, for my hazy vision and the inadequate attention of my generation to the state of the nation, not asking the aging generation the direction to our destination, my father gave me a punishment to write an epistle on how it all began. His opening line threw me off balance. What does not belong to a man, he said, a man should not take, except a woman in marriage. If not that option, then it is corruption. Life is a riddle, my son. The land bled when Ovoranwen was put in shackles. Heaven wept when Saruwiwa was laid to rest. Rest was his last word that sparked this unrest within me, that heroes of noble cause who have gone to rest may never rest in peace until this matter is laid to rest. My father fell asleep, then I picked his brain. So one day I can pick my pen to write an epistle on how his generation fell asleep. The watchmen slipped into coma. Then courage gave way to hypocrisy. Weakness mistaken for meekness. The warriors are in shackles of comfort. The just gagged with wealth. The lions shed their mane, watching chameleons take over the jungle. As our conscience inches towards extinction, one day I will write an epistle on how it all began and begin the epistle with a question. How did we get here? How did we assemble this orchestra afflicted with musical myopia? However, did we climb this height of impunity? From where we overlook the fact that we goaded ourselves into this labyrinth in which we have lost the path to utopia and found a cemetery of regret to bury the relics of our days of glory. So I ask, where are those days of glory? Where are the days nothing went to waste? We made tangible things from things of little worth, like tins of milk recycled to containers for moi moi, and the big ones reused for storing detergents. Our leftover went to the cage of rabbits beside the vegetable garden kept green by dung from poultry farm that assured us eggs with our daily bread. How did we arrive at this creek of emptiness, where we bleed our land for fortune, spill oil on the future, burrow the earth for wealth, bury our inspiration within? Oil may fuel cars, I know, but inspiration will fuel those who will build cars, as imitation of one generation by another will determine the exaltation of a nation or her limitation from generation to generation. And this is not a legend. Inspiration is not a legend. Like those days were real. when empty cartons were remolded to space shuttles and exotic cars that carried our children to the land of their dreams on the shoulders of fathers who washed sweat of labor off their hands rather than blood of kindreds, and mothers who needed not stay awake at night, twisting and turning figures on public ledger. Where are those days daughters were proud of fathers who were soldiers and sons aspired to be soldiers? I'm afraid generals now handle cash than gun, and I've seen colonels amass wealth than living up to their rank on the battlefield. Where are those days our national anthem was a prayer? Each verse crafted a master key that unlocked doors in days of uncertainty. Virtue flowed in our veins, love expressed in purest ways, as bars of iron could not cage our dignity. Praise be the name of the Lord. Have mercy on your people. Just before the shepherd started to hustle flock with fancy billboards and the scriptures shrank into apps on the same tabs where we watch porn, were the days our offering went straight from the heart to the hands of the needy, or the offering bowls on sacred altars, then carried further to orphans and widows that are accounted for by church elders. But on this new road to salvation, I see end-time ministries where offerings are swiped from debit cards to POS on glamorous altars, wired to holy accounts, and further to escrow for the offspring of the shepherd. Worse still, lavished on building colleges and private jets the congregation cannot afford. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Astaghfirullah. As I long for those days to be back when peace was not haram, but what we made with our neighbors no matter their religion. Salat was a sure path to Al-Jannah. We would never kneel on sajada covered in blood. As our sons would not carry weapon after ablution, taking our daughters into captivity to be married off to sons of the gun. Heed my word or kill it. We can pray on Arafat, worship on Sinai, fast for 365 days back to back, not until our arms are coated in peace, stretch forth in unity, until the eagles take flight, the horses regain their dignity, not until our lions refuse to shed their mane, watching chameleons take over the jungle. Then the hope we can rekindle, that days to come may become days when bars of iron recage our fear to turn the wheel of progress into a movement led by chariots of patriots who will make a difference in their time and space.